G'day everyone, welcome back to X3 Albion Prelude with the Star Wars mod. Alright, so what we're going to do today is...
Docking granted. Autopilot activated.
Thank you, computer. So what we're going to do, we're going to dock up. At the end of the last episode, we had just finished our stealth mission. So we had taken more correctly, given this brilliant X-Wing T-65BR, which is the basically the recon variant of the X-Wing. You can see here they've put this giant sensor array just going into the proton torpedo tubes. Close the wings, big sensor range, a little scout. Essentially this is the second mission of the original campaign. So let's just get the seater up here. And what are we going to do? So
we are scanned.
I've just come back.
We scanned your ship and didn't find any illegal goods on board. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you very much. I just came from a mission you had sent me on. But oh well, back to business. So what we've done, we are coming back. We have to dock at this outpost, which we are going to do momentarily. Let's get that seater back up again, otherwise this game will be going for days between things.
Successfully docked.
On behalf of our President and Senator, the Argon Federation is honored to welcome you aboard.
Connection to...
Sergeant, while that meeting didn't involve the Terrans, it did answer a few questions about their recent activities. While I'm sure eyebrows will be raised about the Paranid being involved, we still have no proof that John Furco are directly trading technology with the Terrans. We will continue to contact them through official channels for clarification on where they stand. You did well today. Feel free to go about your business. We will contact you again when we have another task for you. If you want to take some R&R away from the front, I hear some of the other pilots have been trying to play the stock market. If you play it right, it's easy money without needing a fleet of freighters. If you get it wrong, well, you can always eat in the mess, and the cost will be deducted from your next paycheck.
To be perfectly honest, I think I'd rather keep my paycheck. So, what was I saying? Ah yes, so we had recently come back from our stealth mission. You just heard the quick debrief there. So basically, this company has been dealing with their hyperspace lane technology thingamabob-who's-ma-called. I'm just a trader, I don't need to think that big. And they've been selling it to the Paranid. So a little backstory into regular X-lore, not the Star Wars Reborn stuff. In the regular X-lore, the Paranid, until the Terrans invaded. So Terrans are humans from Earth, the Argon are humans, well, essentially from space. They came from Earth a long time ago, were cut off, and they basically two separate races, and the Argons were in the X universe, and the Terrans were stuck on Earth. Alright, quick that down. The Paranid were the Argon's enemy up until when the Terran came back and started this war, which we are currently fighting in. And that has just caused all of us to band together. So if I remember my rinky alliances correctly, the Argon and the Boron were banded together. The Taladi themselves are basically the merchants, sleazy used car salesman type of alien race. Basically in the middle, they serve to anyone who pays the highest. And then we've got the Split and the Paranid on another side. So and what's actually happened is all of us have banded together when the Terrans started this war.
Attention! Today there is a sale in the toy shop on level 8. Don't miss the special offers.
Never knew there was a toy shop on a military station. But we've all banded together to fight the Terrans, though some of us are in more of it than others. Currently, it's the Argon, or the Rebels in the mod, are versing the Terrans, the Empire, quite openly, and not quite yet in the storyline. The other factions haven't jumped into the war yet. The Borons are on our side, but they're still effectively all neutral, so whilst they're antagonistic, they're not openly at war yet, or even hostile to some. So I remember the Terran starts, like the Split and the Paranids aren't hostile to you at the beginning, while the Argon and the Boron are, even if they aren't completely, well, the Boron themselves aren't completely into the war. So where were we? We just finished our mission. we currently have 7,000 credits to our name. Currently, for about 2.5 hours, so a lot of that flight time was not just the episode, it was me fiddling with the settings and all that, because I got a ranky old joystick. Alright, so Fighter Opportunist, and if I take a look at my assets, I've got my Sundered Star, so NTC Sundered Star, it's a Hawk 290 freighter. It's basically the same ship Kyle Katarn flies, and I picked that up way early on in the original save files. Like, I came out of the ship and was like, hey, trader, I'm gonna be a pirate. Well, he was a pirate trader, and it's like, I'm gonna take that ship. So I did. And in the new save, I basically gave it to myself and took away all other assets. Wouldn't come up. And we've got the T65BR that was given. So it's in the same station, so I'm gonna transfer to this.
Security would like to remind all visitors to keep their belongings with them at all times.
Well, yes, I don't plan to. So what I'm gonna do to you is... Actually, I'm gonna do a quick... Alright, let's go station... Landed ships, freight check. I do not have trading system extension, but I think I got one. Yes, I gave it to my 65BR when I gave it a quick outfit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the vision enhancement goggles.
Video enhancement goggles transferred. Docking computer transferred.
Wait. No.
Video enhancement docking
Those
computer
are already on
transferred.
Sundered Star. I'm going to put the
trading system extension transferred.
Trans that over. Boosts are fairly cheap, and I've fight command. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the jump drive and cargo life support systems and docking computer. So I won't transfer that over. What else do I have? Disruptors can stay, though I don't even think they fire at the moment. I think I got a wonky turret. Astromech can stay. 1 megajoule shield. I want to upgrade that. I'll take the proton torpedo.
Transferred.
And I'll take the
poltergeist missile transferred.
Thank you, computer. Take those. Shield can stay. And I'll hold on to some of this. It's not. I got like a huge freight bay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to send you just to dock at the shipyard.
Docking
here.
granted. Command
What I'm
accepted.
gonna do is undock now. Whoop, down. And come out. So what I want to do is I want to earn up some money first off. So let's nut up. Geez, my orientation in this is always a bit funky. There we go. There's the gate. So what I'm going to do, I only have 7,000 credits to my name. So what I want to do is earn some cash. Now what I'm going to do first is the easiest way to earn cash is just to trade energy cells. They're really cheap, and someone somewhere is always going to want them. So, and I am actually... There's only one power plant in the sector, so there we go.
Solar power plant. XL Alpha docking granted.
It is a
Autopilot
long way away
activated.
from anything, though.
Sergeant, please return to Sector M148. There have been developments with Janfrico.
Okay, that was quick. I'm still picking up my solar cells, though. So what I want there, and with the trading system extension, I can actually take a look at what wants them as long as I have a satellite or ship in the system. But I currently don't have enough money to get satellites at the moment. I'll create a satellite network. But yeesh, so more mines. What is around here? Cause silicon chip plants, silicon. Trader sensors are kicking in. I'm seeing, and I got nothing on that one. What can I put in here? What's wanted? Tame and back forge. Okay. Light weapons. A cattle ranch is here. Okay, there's only one cattle ranch. And as far as I can tell, only one Kahuna bakery as well. So that might be... because in these sectors are currently at war. I don't want to sell anything in these sectors. Yeah, Kahuna bakeries are here. But they're almost constantly under attack. Especially in some of these fringe worlds. Interworlds, I got nothing. Wasteland. So yes, if I can put one in the middle, there's one and a cattle ranch, so they're closer together. So maybe one Wastelands Nathan's Voyage probably get me good cannons. I can go those for my heavier ships. And just got some regular defense stations in the Albion for the moment. Alright, let's just speed that up, because what I want to aim for is I want to get at least a general M4 fighter or something. In this game, the M4s and the M3s aren't quite as clear-cut and better than they used to be in the... You gonna say anything, computer?
Successfully docked.
On behalf of our President and Senator, the Argon Federation is honored to welcome you aboard.
Connection to local trading network established.
12 credits, so is good. Anything interesting here? Light defense missiles. Nah, nothing really here. Mosquito missiles, those are. So I'm going to... 1,000.
Insufficient energy. You are being promoted.
Thank you. I always wanted to be promoted, so let's just zoom away here. And there we go, so...
Military command rejected.
Oh, too close. So just
Docking
autopilot here so I can
granted.
get the...
Autopilot activated.
So I can get the autopilot running, just get the seater going. So what I want, as I was saying, the M3, M4, M5 situation itself isn't quite as clear-cut as it is in the base game. It's still got the relative ship sizes there, but it's not quite as steady as it used to be. So, for example, ships like the A-Wing are M5 because they're so small and they're so fast. But they are not the recon ships like my T-65BR. They have shielding and they have decent weapons.
Thank you for returning promptly, Sergeant. I believe you've already met Administrator Colburn of John Furco?
Yes, it was a brief encounter, but one that almost ruined months of work. Still, I understand why the military wants to keep tabs on us during a war, especially with these accusations.
Administrator Colburn was just proposing a very interesting arrangement. Something I think is quite suited to your skill set.
We are aware of a possible league within John Furco, and in addition to that, the Terrans are actively attacking our assets. Our focus is still to continue developing the highway technology and building a test bed in Albion. But with these constant attacks and a potential leak, it is becoming quite difficult.
John Furco are just as concerned with finding their technology on Terran ships as we are. You will be tasked with aiding John Furco in protecting their ships and continuing the investigation into how the Terrans have gotten access to this research. You will report to Administrator Colburn for assignments, but be aware that you could be pulled back to frontline service at any time.
The first job is one you are already familiar with. We are delivering several prototype highway gates to the Paranid. The ship carrying the gates is already en route. Please join the escort group while it travels to the drop-off point.
I've arranged for control of a new ship to be transferred to you for this mission. Additional support ships will be standing by if needed. But we don't want to draw attention to the convoy unless necessary. Dismissed.
Incoming message.
Ooh, I got a message. And that's just my regular pilot report. I have no one, so... But I've been given a Corellian Corvette. Ooh. Let's go F. No. Landed ships. CR-90A. U. This is the one with decent armament. KX-10s, light cannons.
The restaurant is now open for anyone wishing to dine before departing the station.
One fighter hangar bay. Alright, that's neat. Up. up, down, left, right, and 2 main. So what I've got up, down, left, and right are the cannons, and these Tambacks are pretty much anti-fighter work. So it's the same with the M6, 5, 6, and 7s. They're a bit more clear-cut, but not quite as blurry as the fighters. So we've got the M6s, which are quite clearly Corvettes, and that fits quite easily into the Star Wars mold. And then we got the M7s, which, just like the base game, are your smallest class of capital ship, essentially. So the M7s have the small things. They include ships like the Interdict Cruiser, the Nebulon B frigates, and Nebulon B's Carracks, Lancers, Quasars, all those ships. The M6s, they're definitely the Star Wars Corvettes. You got the CR-90s, DP-20s, Tartan Patrol Cruisers, and the likes. M8s are a little bit different. Those are your heavy bombers. So, unlike the M345, the M8s are quite dedicated heavy bomber platforms, or heavy freighter platforms. In this case, my Hawk 170, which I'm currently flying, so let's just transfer into that, which I was flying beforehand. So, this thing is technically an M8 because it's got the transport, but the M8s in this game with the mod.
Customers are reminded that wares on this station are sold without warranties.
Let's just jump out of that. Let's get going here. It's got decent speed to it. I'll scout out a place to drop off those energy cells as I come through, but actually, freight, do I have a jump drive mode? I do. And I got some Marines as well. Ooh, yeah, completely unskilled, but oh well, I can fix that easy enough. Advanced firewall boost, Cedar, fight 1. Alright, so for now, let's get my Sundered Star to
Command
follow
accepted.
me, and I want M. Alright, let's just name this right. NTC CR90A. I will think up a good name for that in the meantime. I don't have it, so we want
Gate
to go
energy
through
autopilot
that gate
activated.
anyway. So what was I saying? Ah yeah, the M8s are heavy freighters and heavy bombers. They've kind of been combined because you got these ships like the dedicated heavy bomber platforms, such as the new one from The Force Awakens, that Rebel heavy bomber, the one that's meant to remind you of B-17. That is an M8 class. Can't remember the exact designation of it. It's like Star Fortress or something along those lines. And they're designated heavy bombers, but you've also got some heavy, or medium, not heavy freighters per se, but medium freighters, which are well known for being armed, like my WK-290 that's currently following along behind me is technically classified as an M8. It's got the missile loadout, albeit it's not as heavy as something like the Star Fortress. Other freighters in this also include the YT-2000 as well, that's in there, as well as a couple of those Clone Wars era ships that are thrown in. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. So that's what the M8s are. They're a weird mix, but going back onto the fighters, the lines are blurry. You've got you got single seat fighters, which you usually think about. You've got the X-Wing, the Y-Wing. They're multi-role fighters. They tend to be what the M4s are in this game. So X-Wings, Y-Wings, assault gunboats. I really want one of those. If I find one, I'm grabbing it. Like when I was playing the old mod, they made great armed transports because of the lasers the Imperials get. They're fairly powerful and out of sector. They're useful. They're fast enough to do some light trading work, and that's why I really like them. So if I find one of them, I'm going to try and capture it. But yeah, assault gunboats, missile gunboats, keep a couple of those pirate freighters, Z-95s, there we go. They're all multi-role fighters, and they're classified as M4. recon and light interceptors. So A-Wings, TIE Fighters, my T-65BR, which is hanging around in the sector. They're all classified as M5s because they're very light, but it's annoyingly so. So, for example, in this game you've got the various TIE Fighter models that are the lightest and the fastest. So, the Interceptor, the regular TIE, you've got and the Spec Ops TIE Fighter that the First Order uses. They're all classified as M5s, even though some of them are right pain in the backside to actually deal with. Mainly those TIE Fighter spec forces, because in this game everything has to have shields. It's just part of the game mechanics. Everything comes with shields. They're exceedingly light on those things, but it's annoying as hell. And then we've got the M3s, and those are usually your heavy fighter bombers. So we've got the two-seater version of the Y-Wing. There's two versions of the Y-Wing in this game. Well, technically there's three, but two of them are pretty similar. You've got the M4 Y-Wing, which is basically very similar to the ones we'd see in A New Hope. Single-seat heavy fighter bomber. Yeah, I'd say it was heavy fighter bomber. And it's got basically 4 forward-firing cannons. The turret on top's been locked forward, but you've also got the M3 version, and that has essentially the turret manned by another person. You can actually see this in the model, it's fairly neat, but we've also got other heavy fighters in this category, such as the TIE Bomber, you've got the TIE Defender, you've got the Rebel Alliance B-Wing, ARC 170s, and the likes. So that's generally the quick lowdown on those, albeit that won't be so quick, providing any... I do love that sound. But there we go, provided I missed a few. There's a couple of
Entering
big
system.
ones.
Enduring light.
So
Autopilot
let's
off.
get that autopilot off. So where exactly am I meant to go? So here we go. This is the M3 fighter that I was...
John Furco, escort.
So here we go. This is the M3 version I was talking about. If you look closely, yeah, you can actually see our second pilot here on the gun. And if you've got the M4 version, it's not visible. And I think the M3 version may have a slightly bigger weapon loadout than the other one. Alright, anything in here that could use... no, full-on energy cells. Relatively full-on energy cells. I don't have a Best Buys locator or anything in here, so I'm gonna have to do this manually. A good general rule of thumb is the lower the stock, the higher the... well, that's not even a rule of thumb, that's what happens. The lowest, in this game, the lower the stock, the higher the price will be. But we got energy cells there. I do not have my trading system extension in. I was expecting to be in... and they just don't buy them. Trading station... I would probably buy it, but at the same time...
Gate. Nav autopilot activated.
Alright, what do we want? We're going to Interworld, so that's through. Got time to pick up a few things on the way. So, yeah, this game has a really good supply and demand built in, so if you got a trading system extension, I would have been able to see the actual prices they're selling for. Since I left that on my personal ship behind me, though that may change into this ship. Though speaking of this ship, I have actually been given a CR90. It is very nice. It is very sparkly. Well, not quite so sparkly, but... so I've got... can I actually upgrade these? I think I can... like, in the old one, in the first one I was doing, you could actually upgrade these to... yeah, heavy laser cannons. So right, and those can also go on the up and the down, though usually I like to have the heavy cannons. So these are the equivalent of the photon pulse cannons in the original game. I like to have them on my main, because you can charge them up, because in the original game, the AI won't charge up these lasers, and essentially the longer the hold, the more powerful the laser. but it doesn't do that in the normal game. Left and right is still anti-fighter, which I will keep as ours. I believe as ours, as is these AT Jews, relatively good. Speaking of, so also got access to Iron Shard railguns. That's a pretty good anti-corvette roll. Might help out when I'm firing at things, so I might see if I can dig up some of them from the split. But oh well. But we've got... yes, so... got one turret.
Banshee missile removed.
Get 1, 2. Yeah, so I have to control this. It's actually fairly intuitive. I'm used to coming off a War Thunder where I've got to on a turret, use the turrets like this, so I got to switch to my mouse, or use my thumbsticks. Thumbstick doesn't work here, but I like that. And they actually work, and there we go.
Autopilot off.
Let's just get that out of crashing. Full throttle, please. Alright, what I'm going to do is command for all turrets. Protection.
Command accepted.
So I'm going to need... alright, semi on. All my keybinds are really close together, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them just to defend my ship. It's my general automatic defense location. I like to put them in unless I'm specifically attacking something, and then I'd usually put either my heavy guns... alright, let's get
Autopilot activated.
I'd put my heavy guns situated on attack my target. Which is also pretty good, though. If I want to capture something, I'd usually tend to just turn them back to defend ship. Which allows you to attack things, and they won't shoot unless the thing you're attacking attacks back more often than not. But oh well. So, and time to do the gate dance.
Autopilot off.
Let's accelerate to attack speed. I really don't like the gate dance the AI does, though it does save you on occasions. So like I've once, I think I told this story on the last video, but I've come out straight into a bigger ship. So I think I was in the Terran sectors at the time doing the Terran campaign, and I was a little...
Entering system. Nathan's voyage.
Not quite anything big, but I was in essentially a dinky little M4. I'm iffy about the original Terran fighters. I actually really liked the XRM, Excalibur, and GQs. I think that was what they were. Mainly because the wings were cool on them, designed after atmospheric fighters. But at the same time, the original ones had a rather bad habit of exploding when something bigger hit them, and you'll probably see that in this game as well. But I think I was coming into one of the far end sectors around Neptune, and I basically went straight into a Kyoto, coming in the gate, and I was going out the gate. And a Kyoto's like the big ship. I actually really like that, and I hope it's still in at the moment, because I want to grab one. But the Kyoto is basically the super M2. So the M2 and M1s, going back to my earlier discussion in this game, in the mod, are pretty much similar. The M1s, they're the carriers, and the M2s, they're the battleships. So, I have not seen this
Boron.
This is a weird one. Okay. Back to business, so I've got
Boron escort.
spearheads. I had not seen these either, but now I know what they are. They're essentially the precursor to the A-Wing, and they are essentially, if I remember my canon, they are the fighters seen in Star Wars Rebels. Oh, you're low. Weapon component forge. You're good. Low. Relatively... Ah, here we go. None. So, M alpha. Yes, M alpha. So, no, I want R. I want my sundered star. 3, trade. Cell. M alpha. Energy cells. As much as
Command
you can carry.
accepted.
That should get me a nice little profit. Though emphasis on little profit. But alas, any money is
Wasteland. Autopilot activated.
any money is good money at the moment.
You are being promoted.
Why am I being promoted? Huh, that was quick. That was really quick. So what I'm going to do for the moment now, so how much money did that actually earn me? About 4 grand? So
Pirate Medusa.
okay, this is an original ship and I'm gonna...
Go and fly into a black hole.
Not the button I was meant to press, so R again. You, I want to trade again. So go back to Corellia and the solar power plant, energy cells, just buy at least
Command
1,000 of them.
accepted. Autopilot
Alright.
off.
You annoyed me. Oh, that sounded big. Alrighty. This doesn't go the same way as my very first
Target
exercise.
is now in firing range.
Follow. Go at it, boys!
You wrecked my shield.
Wahahaha. Sometimes that is fun. Alright, what have I got?
Firelance missile.
Fire lance and concussion missiles. What can I use? Yes, info. So, DM6, I can use those. Fire storms. Fire lances. Haha, I'm good at those.
Autopilot off.
So I can collect them. There we go. Nice and simple. I really want to get that Mars script. That's like the...
Cargo bay now contains energy bolt chain gun ammunition.
That, I don't know what I can do with. I don't have any energy bolt chain guns, unfortunately.
Asteroid.
Alright, let's go. Here we go. So we have...
Wasp missile. Firelance missile.
Wasps and fire lances.
Cargo bay now contains Firelance missile.
There we go.
Wasp missile installed.
Wasps can go. Concussion.
Firelance Banshee Wasp missile installed.
Alright, so you can see I've got the missile information mod down on the bottom there. So 18 kilometers, 300 meters a second,
Installed.
15 kilometers,
Firelance missile installed.
18 kilometers, 600,
Banshee missile installed.
185, bigger boom.
Banshee missile remove. Wasp missile
8 times.
installed.
Okay, I'll just hold on to the wasps for now. That'll be more useful than anything else.
Entering system.
Alright.
Wastelands.
Alright. Here we go. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is before... Hey, I could actually got some very minor control in CETA. That's actually not something I'm used to. So what I'm gonna do, I've reached the time limit. You've listened to my ranting for about 34 minutes. So I'm going to call it here. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. And take it easy, everyone.